folks? Dude here. And well, it looks like we got a bit of a road trip. I'm cruising along. And yes, that is the Philadelphia skyline, because I'm going to the Philadelphia Gun Show, and it's a little bit of a mystery what's going on, but obviously by the sign there talking about Philly, that I'm in, well, almost Philadelphia. So yeah, I did actually run up north on 95, and it's about a 2-hour run from my home burg of Balmer, and it's not too terrible bad a run. Should be fairly cool. And stay tuned. Get ready for a surprise. You guys are not going to believe what happened next. What happens next. Probably I can even speak in English next time. Alright, folks, stay by on that one. Alright, folks, we have reached Destinationville, which would be the Pennsylvania National Guard Armory in Philadelphia. Just got to get my ticket, go inside, and figure out who I'm meeting up with, and you'll see. Good times. Alright, folks, we have definitely entered into the gun show, and we're looking at, that's right, ABARMS, which would be, unfortunately, the guy behind the counter working it like crazy, but it is definitely the Jason Man. That's right, this guy here is on YouTube himself. This is ABARMS 11 Bravo on YouTube. Dude's going to be working on my own toy. I brought along my Colt 7.6239 upper, and we're going to be installing this guy. Oh, that guy, actually. But he's got along a couple of his toys, so let's give you some gun porn first off. This is one of his goodies here. This is the 5.56. This guy up here is the Deer Slayer. This is the 6.8 SPC. And what's that gas system you got on there?
That's an Osprey Defense gas piston system. Well, actually, this is an Osprey Defense. This is a CMMG.
And, of course, that is definitely the Aimpoint M4S. Oh, I love those things. They're so badass. You got your receivers here. You got the painted and non-painted varieties. And you say these guys were
They're all nickel boron coated.
Nickel boron. Then, of course, these are your good old gas system setups.
Yep, gas piston systems.
Oh, man, those things are badass. Dude was shooting the thing with a can and without a can, and there's no adjustments. If you want to get yourself a piston system that absolutely positively works, and it's only 4 parts, that's the thing you need. If you're going to run and gun with peanut butter, don't do that. Damn it. I'm probably going to pay him again. All right, so let's have some fun here with my stuff. And I'm going to be switching back and forth between the Sony cam and the flip, so we show detail. And he's playing with his now. But if you guys want to check out his stuff, definitely go and check out his website, which is going to be abarms.com. And, of course, you got the hottie on the cover there. And, damn, where'd you get that girl? All right, well, I'm going to switch off now to the Sony cam for the detail work. Hang on a second here. All right, so we now switched off to the Sony cam, and he's pulled off my handguard. And you said that sucker was a virgin, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was tough getting it off.
All right, so that is a Colt 7.6239 upper. You can see it's a fairly heavy barrel profile. Obviously, that is most definitely a 30 caliber hole. That is not a 223. All right, so it's a really heavy, hardcore, and, well, terribly involved installation, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, man.
So you're going to just line up the actual...
indexing pin?
Yep. So we're going to line up the rail with the top.
Okay.
And then you're going to pull it down. And this one is a tight one. I should have brought a handguard wrench.
That's what I was telling you on the phone, dude.
I know.
Oh, well.
This one's been out of the box for a while. Hold on a sec.
You're having too much fun. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bud.
And it's a wrestling match. So far, we have Jason 0, Gun 1. Up. Nope. Yes,
go.
victory has been involved.
Man, I missed that.
It was a bear too. All right, so then we're gonna just put this part of the lip and this part of the lip on the bottom.
So it's your standard handguard install, nothing crazy.
Yep.
Compatible, of course, with the Ford floppy guy.
Yep.
So good stuff on that one there.
All right, so we are in.
Disco.
You just give it a little bit of a crank back and forth, just so it seats in the bottom. You have all these little divots in your
the nut.
nut. So it's meant to. It'll interlock in the bottom and the top. It has 2 interlocks. So when you have it on and it's a little bit, tight, you just give it a little twist and it locks in perfectly.
Well, you were showing me all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, so when we were putting like the design characteristics in it, we wanted it to be a completely rock stable platform that wouldn't move either side to side or forward and back, or have any kind of torque in it. So if you look here, what we have is two little bumps that we put in the top.
So it locks in your barrel nut.
Yep, and those actually lock into the divots in your barrel nut. And then we have two on the bottom in the same spots. So when it locks together, it's completely locked up on this section. And then there's 3 points of contact here. If you notice, there's a squared out edge here. In your handguard cap, there's a squared out little portion that sticks out, which is a little bump. That actually locks, pivot locks into that.
So you take advantage of a previously existing design feature.
Correct.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then at the bottom, the roundness is actually the same radius as what the handguard cap is. So when it locks in, and if you can see, it's tapered. The taper actually provides friction on the lock.
So it's got no choice but to center up, lock itself in, and not move.
Yep. So then if you can see these, see all these posts? Right? Every one of those posts interlock with a post on the inside.
And then you say there was like an additional feature where the two of them mate together?
Yeah. So these have a Z, well, kind of like a back and forth Z, right? And this has a back and forth Z. And if you can see where this has got a line out in it.
So almost kind of like a mortise and tenon joint.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it mates here and here. So when you put it together, it locks, if you can see, like that. So there's no twist, no nothing when it's mounted on the front and the back.
And you were saying these things are like ridiculously strong, like right out of the box too, like coming out of the mold, they're like strong and whatnot.
So we would take them out of the mold, and when they come out of the mold, they're burning hot. So we have a guy that sits at the bottom with gloves on, and he'll grab them out of the machine, and then he'll put them together. Well, what we would do is to test the design, he would put them together, and I mean, they're so hot at that point, you can't really hold them too long, so he puts them down right away. So he would put them together for us, and we would sit them on the floor, and I would stand on them to see if they would break, and they still wouldn't.
That's cool.
And I weigh 220 pounds, so I think that's pretty good.
So essentially, you're testing that thing like even still almost design level hot, and it wasn't moving.
Exactly.
That's good stuff.
Right out of the mold.
And you say these things are rated for like more than 350 degrees or something?
450 degrees at 280 psi.
That's an insane amount of heat level and pressure.
Yep.
And you're probably going to shear receiver pins when you start putting that kind of side load on them.
Oh, absolutely. You would probably break the delta ring assembly before you break these.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So the neat thing about them is when we built them from the ground up. So we wanted something. If you look in the end, we wanted something that would accommodate any known piston system on the market.
Yeah, I see you got a lot of excessive room in there compared to most of the other guys who really tend to crab in.
Yep, and if you notice, if you look from the back, you can notice how slim they are, right?
And it does have that pronounced oval where basically the human hand doesn't make a circle, but actually does make a U shape, so you're actually making it work right.
Right. So when we did that, we had to consider, if you look at these two guns here, this has a Osprey Defense gas piston system in it.
And it fits.
Yeah, and this one has a CMMG in it.
And it fits.
So the two different systems have two different clearances. So the CMMG tends to run a little bigger towards the top than this one does.
So I guess with my upper then, with my little DIY stick in there, it's going to have tons and tons of cooling ability.
Absolutely. It's got more room than you could ever want.
I'm telling you, man, I'm looking down here and it's almost an RCH off of free floating, man. That's insane.
Yeah. So the neat thing about it is you don't get a handguard this big around to get that kind of air cooling. You get a handguard that's that big around.
Exactly. You're not basically looking at like I don't know, what is that? The Tapco Monster from Hell or something. I tried to put my hand around that thing and I was like, okay, we now have competition for the Glacier Guards with something that is ridiculously oversized.
I didn't say it.
Oh, I'll say it because it came off one of my other videos, and I hate Glacier Guards, man. I hate Glacier Guards. I like DPMS. I hate Glacier Guards.
We just refer to our competition as the Coke, the coffee can Handguards.
It's a 1 liter bottle. It's a 1 liter bottle.
Yeah, so what you end up with is because you grew the size of the actual handguard, you end up with a place that you can indent your hand into. And
I know, man, that thing grabs you back. It feels so good. It really, it's like so subtle, but when you grab it, you're like, man, this thing just feels perfect.
Yeah, so it just sits in there and it feels great. I mean, we've had so many people come by, and really my thing has been, feeling is believing, you know. Once you pick this thing up and you feel it in your hands, you go, why hasn't someone thought of this?
And the price of entry is not prohibitive.
Absolutely.
Here's the Jason Ader, and of course, check out ABARMS.com, ABARMS.com, and check out his channel here on 80s Podcast Channel. Would be referring to him as the guy also on YouTube as ABARMS 11 Bravo. So, ABARMS B Baker 11. That shouldn't be too terribly hard to put some annotations if it's, well, written out in something other than English. All right, folks, we are officially post gun show, now heading back, hanging out with Jason from ABARMS.com, also known as ABARMS 11 Bravo here on YouTube. Check out his channel. Trust me, he has got more stuff coming down the pike, and it is going to get so freaking cool. I really, seriously cannot tell you guys what kind of stuff he's got coming down the pike, but I can tell you for a fact, I am freaking stoked. I am freaking stoked. And you guys are going to see outrageous stuff. Well, trust me on this. All kinds of confidentiality stuff that he couldn't breach that he kind of hinted to me. Let's just say one of the biggest names of the biggest names may have something to do with his channel and my channel somewhere down the road. And that's about all I can say about that one, except for it is a huge name. So if you're looking for something extremely tactical, extremely cool, stay tuned here on 80s Podcast Channel, because trust me, you're going to see stuff, brother, like you ain't never seen on YouTube. Oh, man, it is going to be completely badass. All right, folks, I'm looking at the Daily Driver, which means it's time to start driving the Daily Driver, which means, of course, I got to head on south back down to Balmer. All right, folks, here on 80s Podcast Channel, we say see it, as always,